And you know me, I love structure. I love discipline to the point where it's like, I like structure so much that I don't even like going into like grocery stores anymore because I don't see people wear uniforms anymore. Maybe that's the the military and the law enforcement in me, but it's, there used to be like when I walked into Target, I knew who worked at Target.
Right.
Now I kind of know, but anybody in jeans and like a reddish shirt could potentially work there, or they might not work there. I like structure in every regard. Like, I mean, how do you feel about that? Like, I know I was talking about just the workplace right now, but yeah, we know, let's stay on the workplace for a little bit. I feel like the workplace has gotten way too casual for my liking. Like when I walk into businesses, I don't like the structure in a lot of businesses. Like anybody can wear whatever they want. I see AirPods in people's ears. I see people on their phones in customer service places. And you
talking about how generally people aren't like taking it serious anymore when they work
anywhere. Yeah, anywhere.
I noticed that a lot too, especially as a government employee. A lot of people, especially before the current crackdown of government employees, a lot of people took the job for granted. Yeah. And they were lazing around because they know like when you got a government job, you're pretty much set.
Yeah. So
and it's hard to fire you. So a lot of people get complacent and get lax. And I don't like that either, just because how I look at it is you get paid to do something. So do the job properly.
Oh, how do you feel about all the government workers complaining that Elon Musk, made all the federal workers send in an email talking about what they accomplished this week?
So like I said, I did 5 years in the military. That's what we have to do every day. We have to let our squad leader, our team leader, our platoon sergeant, we have to let them know what we did, what we accomplished that day. I didn't see what the issue was with that, but I also work with a lot of government employees that don't do anything. And so it would be hard for them to justify making that 6-figure salary when they aren't doing anything. It takes nothing to send a 5-minute email about what you accomplished that week.
You know what?
But the thing is that a lot of what a lot of people, I don't agree with a lot of things, or a few things that this administration does. That was one of the things I did agree with, just for the simple fact that I work around government employees. I'm a government employee, and I see how lazy these people are. And these are, as an American citizen, you should advocate for that the most, because this is your tax dollars at work.
Right.
And these people are not working.
Yeah, and they're not working so much that the reason some people don't want to go back to work from being remote is because they've taken some of these remote jobs and moved to damn Thailand. Mm-hmm. And some of them have like, you know this, we both work in the government. You can find a way to hide in your job to where like nobody really knows you exist, but you're still getting a check every couple of weeks.
Yep.
And I forget which company it was, because you can buy these like little things you put under your mouse. And you put your mouse on top of it, and it will like move your mouse, because that's one way that
they track to see you're working. Yeah.
So they have these things. So now this one company owner, he hired another company to track the algorithm, to put in an algorithm to track the mouses, and he found out like 70% of his employees were using like this mouse tracking thing to move the mouse to make it seem like they're being more productive than what they were. And I was like, this is crazy, which leads to I have a lot of controversial points. This is going to be one of the things I say that's very controversial. I feel like those positions in government should be given to discharged military members first before anybody else.
Yes.
You're going to get a lot harder. Unfortunately, you're going to get somebody who's like willing to work hard to put in long hours without requiring much more, because we both know in the military, 50 hours a week, 20 hours a week don't make a difference. Your check is the same. Mm-hmm. Now, don't still treat them like that. Obviously, now they're we're civilians, so give them civilian pay. So that means if they work overtime, pay them the overtime. But I feel like all these analyst positions in the government, or all these positions that they have, if you start giving priority to service members who are discharged, one, you'd probably get more people joining the military, and two, you're going to get rid of this stigma of people leave the military and they become homeless.
But government, getting back to government employees, is just that I've yet to see somebody formulate a clear and concise argument on why they don't like the Department of Government Efficiency's plan as far as the end of remote work, and they bring up things like, oh, productivity increased or was the same when people were working from home. I was like, yeah, because you didn't do anything at the office, and now you're just slightly doing things a little bit more at home.
Yeah.
That's it. I was just like, before, I was like, I got a lot of takes when it comes to government employees, because working with them,
I know
it makes me so mad.
Trust me,
and
I know.
It just like when people, because I'm a firm believer, like I like to see where my tax dollars are going, even though I'm not rich, so I'm not like I don't contribute a crazy amount of taxes, even though they still taking my money. But it's like, as an American citizen, you look at these people who your taxes are going to, and they're doing nothing, and they're complaining about having to do their job now. It just makes me so mad.
Yeah, we're talking specifically civilian government employees.
Yes.
Because even if you're police, fire, correctional officer, you're a civilian, but you're not a civilian the way an HR person is a civilian. Mm-hmm. You're not a civilian the way an analyst is a civilian, because their jobs don't require, one, manual physical labor, and there's no risk of life, and there's no chain of command that could be rather aggressive. There's less accountability, so they do less, but they swear to God they're doing a lot. Mm-hmm. Which is crazy to me, because I'm like, you guys don't understand. Like, making people tell you what they did at the end of every week, if they don't like it now, if they choose to leave the government and they go to like the private sector, you're going to be doing daily and weekly and monthly reports. Mm-hmm. Trust and believe.
But that's why they're fighting so hard now, because they know how sweet that gig is with the government, because they've been able to skate through for 10, 15, 20 years. So now that somebody's actually being like, no, we need to get to the bottom of this. Like, why do people always look down on government employees? And we can't sit here and act like we don't have that stigma of government employees, like they don't do anything, because they don't. You can go. I live in DC. Go to any of these government buildings, and you'll just see people just chilling, walking around. You'll usually see two people that run the whole building, and they're the ones working hard, and then everybody else is just chilling.
Yeah, and then you have positions that I don't think should exist, like diversity and inclusion analyst. I work in the diversity and inclusion department in the federal government. You work in what?
I'm confused. What is that position for? Is it to make sure that these companies are hiring minorities?
I don't know what it's for. Maybe it's to make sure they're hiring. It's not just minorities, any protected class. So that minorities, gays, anybody who's LGBT, like all, like everybody, mm-hmm. Women, I think. So, but it's like diversity, equity, and inclusion specialist. Like that's your job. I don't feel like that should be a job. I feel like that's something that could easily be taken care of without government
oversight.
Yeah, like if somebody realizes that no black people work in this company, all they have to do is report them, and it doesn't have to go through a specific diversity, equity. Like, I'm pretty sure there are already anti-discrimination laws, like civil rights laws against it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, because what some of you guys don't know is that the civil rights movement that black people fought for was civil rights, not just for black people, but for all people. I know people don't like to give black folks the credit that they deserve, but I don't understand why the world is the way it is.
Like I said, one of my biggest gripes is with government employees, because they give us all a bad stigma, and it's been going on for before my generation, before my parents' generation, where government employees have just been lazy. And one of the few good things that this administration is doing is cracking down on it. Yeah. And a lot of people will just say, just because they don't like Trump as a person, or they don't like Elon Musk as a person, because these are billionaires and they don't agree with them fundamentally. One thing you can't argue with is that we have a serious problem when it comes to government efficiency.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have to deal with the government, so they don't see the lack of efficiency. It comes from like government workers. But how I look at it is this is your money you're paying towards the government, and these people are just squandering it.